Hey there guys, Mooky here, and I'm back with a new What If series, and this is What If Izuku was the son of K-Dash from the King of Fighters series, and this is part 0. I'm basically going to go down on how K-Dash is the father of Izuku. With that said, let's get into this. K-Dash, or just K to many. After going through many KOF tournaments to destroy the secret organization known as NES, traveling the world as a fugitive, and also undercovering supernatural cults who dreams of taking over the world, he decides to work alongside an organization that's been wanting to take him down for years, being the Ikari Warriors, a team that's also been taking part of the KOF tournaments for years as well, alongside his sister Sarah, or known as Whip, his best friend and cyborg partner Maxima, and his supposed little sister Coolith Diamond as well, as they go through battlefield to battlefield, taking down many organizations and terrorists otherwise. And since this is part of the world of My Hero Academia, most of them being villains after all, with one mission leading them to Japan, as a villain group planned on basically try to target many of the top ranked heroes in Japan, at least the weakest ones, so they can start actually bringing fear in Japan. Ever since the emergence of All Might, Japan has always had the safest crime rate in the entire world. However, this terrorist group wanted to change that for the worst. Realizing that they can't have that, they decided to employ their own private investigation. And since the Ikari Warriors are basically an international hero group, Japan can't, deny them their investigation after all, especially the police and other heroes as well. As getting information, their investigation led them to an outskirts city of Tokyo, being Masafu, as it's mostly a city surrounded by mountain range and the sea. With that, they began seeing if they can get any information on some certain suspicious individuals, being this terrorist group. With that, at the first time they had no luck, but on the second day, they actually found what they were looking for. One of the members of this villain group that planned on attacking multiple top-ranked pros, as it being somewhat of an easy fight for K-Dash, of course, taking him down pretty easily with no time wasted after all, as they arrested him and they planned on getting the information. As for K-Dash, he just basically did his own loner thing and wandered around the city for the time being, as everybody's kind of used to this. With this, he basically just looked around the city saying, these people have no idea how well they had it. They have no idea how much suffering other people go through, especially in other countries. As K-Dash basically goes to country, taking down each and every villain group as a mercenary, he begins realizing on how certain people are privileged, especially when it comes to heroes and hero families, as he begins seeing them as nothing but lazy bastards who only care more about fame and fortune, while people like him and his sister and friends began trying to make the world a better place through their own way, and don't even care about getting anything in return at that. Plus, he's also been feeling like there are some things that just haven't been given him any purpose. Like the KOF tournaments, he may have hated them with a passion, but basically gave him somewhat of a purpose, to reason to fight, a true reason to fight, to protect the world in his own lone wolf kind of way, even though he does have his friends by his side. As he's knocked out of his train of thought, he soon hears an explosion, begin thinking, oh, what now? As he runs to it as fast as he can. As he gets to the area where there's tons of explosions, lo and behold, he sees the villain group that him and his team has been looking for. With that, they basically cause a riot, with soon facing against a young Best Jeanist who's still climbing up the ranks too before he's officially the top 5th rank high pro in Japan. With K-Dash basically thinking, well, I could call for backup, or I could put down this somewhat frustration I have onto those bastards and get the information I need later. As soon he runs into them with the group composing of 4 members. Their leader, who seems to have that of an electrification quirk, can manipulate any electricity nearby and charge him up physically and disperse it as well. One of the second members is able to transform into that of a werewolf and has super heightened senses and speed as well. The next member being a female who can manipulate her body to create clones of herself. However, the more clones she makes, the more strain her body takes, having her not even able to create any more clones in the process. And the last one being a big dude who just has an invulnerability quirk, as he can basically take bullets like it's nothing. However, the more punishment he takes, the more weakened he gets. With their quirks explained, soon their leader says, well, if it isn't Best Jeanist, an upstart hero, sorry kid, but I guess it's time for you to have an early retirement, permanently. As Best Jeanist saying, sorry, I don't have time to be wasting on a bunch of low-level thugs like you. As one of them begins saying, low-level thugs? He seriously has no idea who we really are, doesn't he? As soon saying, yeah, it doesn't matter. After all, Japanese heroes are sheltered after all. As Best Jeanist gets annoyed at that comment, he's saying, don't underestimate us just because All Might is not here. As he extends his clothing to them, as they all scatter, with the female villain basically creating 2 copies of herself from her body, as they go straight to Best Jeanist, with Best Jeanist tying up at least 2 of them. However, there's the main one still goes straight at him and plans on doing a kick into the air at Best Jeanist, with the other one being the werewolf villain, as he heads straight to him as well. But soon, Best Jeanist realizing that he's not going to get out of this without a scratch. But soon, K-Dash basically takes down the female villain with just 1 kick. And not only that, he used translocation to disappear for a split second, and then grabbing the werewolf villain by his tail, and then slamming him to the ground, knocking him out cold with just 1 hand. Within, Best Jeanist begins saying, who are you? I've never seen a hero like you before. As K-Dash soon takes off his glasses saying, hold these. Saying, what? Just hold them for me, will you? I don't want them getting broken, after all. As soon, Best Jeanist is confused, but just grabs the sunglasses after all. As soon, you can see K-Dash's blue eyes, as he soon walks to the other members of the terrorist group, as saying, who the hell are you? Some other, seeing that you're able to take care of both our comrades so easily, you're not one to mess with. Saying, you guys are known as the Dogs of War. You're basically a terrorist villain group that goes from country to country, basically targeting some of the newest top-ranked heroes. And sometimes they go well, sometimes they don't. But even so, most of those heroes end up in a coma or at least in a hospital if you don't end up killing them at first. Saying, this guy knows a lot about all. Saying, as the big dude gets saying, what should we do, boss? You got that invulnerability quirk. Take care of it. I'll go and get the others and make sure to wake their asses up. As soon saying, will do. As he soon jumps down from the giant destruction pile, he soon walks up to K-Dash, who's a little bit shorter than him, saying, there's no way in hell you're gonna beat me, kid. as K-Dash gets annoyed saying, I'm only 19. As saying, then that still makes you a kid. As K-Dash basically blocks the attack with just his bare hand, saying, what the? As he tries punching him again, K-Dash soon just blocks it with his right hand again and again, saying, how the hell are you? Your quirk is invulnerability, not super strength, dumbass. Of course I'm able to block it with just one hand. Size doesn't freaking matter, moron. Saying, stop insulting me! As soon, K basically releases flames from his left leg, slow sweeping him, before creating a powerful gust of fire in his right hand, and then knocking him down in the face, as it does knock him down, but it doesn't knock him out. Before K-Dash continues brutally beating the shit out of him in the face before his quirk begins wearing down with each and every blow. As everybody who could see this, looks like the punches are basically moving at light speed at that. Instead, with soon Best Genius is able to keep up, but somewhat. With that, K-Dash soon stops as he realizes he's unconscious now. As he looks around him, he soon sees that the villains that he did beat have been moved, as their villain leader is carrying them, trying his best to get out of there as soon as possible, saying, damn it, I didn't expect us to be overwhelmed so easily. It's a good thing I got at least weeks of electricity stored up. With this, I should be able to knock him out easily if he does capture us. As soon, K-Dash was already behind him, as he grabs him by the neck, as his flames were already erupted around him, as he soon screams out in pain, dropping his colleagues in the process. However, he then began dispersing tons of electricity all around K-Dash, as he begins getting shocked by him. With soon, the villain leader begins saying, you damn bastard, you're gonna pay for that. No one burns me and gets away with it. Saying, your electricity, I've been shocked before dozens of times, especially being experimented on. And what I'm gonna say is, your electricity is so goddamn weak to me. Saying, what? As K-Dash continues saying, Benimaru has more of a shock than you do, and that's not even his quirk. As Sue saying, stay the hell away from me! As he'd been dispersing tons of electricity all around him, with K-Dash dodging each and every one of the wild electricity bolts coming at him, before he hears somebody screaming, as it being a young woman with green hair and a ponytail, as he begins saying, damn it, I have to end this quickly, but if I don't, then she might, as soon saying, screw it, as he runs to her, basically taking the full force of the lightning bolt coming straight at her. As soon, K-Dash was on his knees saying, you saved me, saying, don't get it twisted. I don't want to be scolded by my sister after all. As soon saying, that's what I expect from a hero, always wanting to protect others. As soon, K-Dash saying, I'm getting annoyed at this. I'm ending this now. As soon, he disappears again as he translocates back to the villain leader, within once again grabbing him by the neck and then slamming him to the ground before having his right hand close to him and then screaming out, chain drive, before his flames began to erupt from his glove as a vortex of fire was soon released from K-Dash, as the villain leader began screaming in agony from the attack, from the flames. As everyone sees this, with a couple of heroes who also showed up as well, alongside Best Genius, who was at all at the power of K-Dash, with soon releasing his flames and getting off the villain leader, as he's nothing but burns, but he's still alive, barely. With soon saying, That was a pain in the ass. As he soon looks at the young woman, saying, "Are you okay? Hope none of my flames was close enough to hurting you." Saying, I'm fine. Thank you, actually." As she soon bows before K-Dash, saying, "None of that." With soon walking to Best Genius, saying, "You can give me back my glasses." Saying, sure." With soon K-Dash putting back his sunglasses on. But then he begins bringing out his phone, saying, "Hey, Whip, tell Commander Hayden I captured the main targets." As saying, "Wait, how the hell did you..." "That's not important. I'm going to need some soldiers to come and get them, and also probably contact the local police and get us at least an interrogation room from each and every one of them." And that's all I'm going to say. And as he soon hangs up, and soon Best Genius say, "I had to thank you for your help. I didn't expect you to take care of all those villains on your own." Saying, "They're nothing just compared to what the hell I've been through." Saying, As soon K-Dash saying, "Never mind. A couple of my, sidekicks should be here in the next couple minutes or so. If you would cooperate with them, I would appreciate that. Tell all the other heroes nearby as well." As soon K-Dash walks off from Best Genius, who's pretty confused, saying, "What is with that guy? I've never even seen him before, and I've never seen a hero like that. He did say he was a mercenary hero, but still." Knowing most heroes nowadays, they rather prefer to keep things confidential within the country instead of relying on other people from outside. With that, soon K-Dash walks off, as he soon sees the green-haired young woman that he saved a while back is saying, "Again, allow me to thank you for saving me. Are you truly okay?" As saying, "I'm fine. You don't have to worry. Trust me. Besides, I'm just glad you're okay. But still, don't take it too personally. After all, just doing my job." As soon saying, "What's your name? I mean, you're a hero after all." Is saying, K-Dash. As she soon says, "My name is Inko. It's a pleasure to meet you. As I hope we can," as he's saying, "there's no chance in hell we're going to ever meet each other again. Just letting you know." After that, K-Dash soon walks off. As soon he can saying, "Why the hell did I say that? I mean, I'm probably going to stay in Japan for at least the next couple of days for those damn interrogations, but still, why the hell?" But there is no chance of me meeting her again. With that, K-Dash was somewhat reprimanded by Hayden, but also glad that he did take care of the villain group after all. But soon Sarah also scolding him too, but still thankful for her brother was safe to come back. That next couple of days has been nothing but interrogations, wondering why the, Dogs of War basically wanted to take down many top pros, as they didn't really get much with the interrogations until a certain upcoming detective, being Namasa Sukaguchi, came in to help out, as he used his quirk lie detector on each and every one of them. With that, they were able to get the information that they needed to, find out why, as they were hired by an anonymous benefactor that wanted many of the top pros in Japan to, die before some of them reaching number one. At that, they begin wondering why, with them saying that they don't know. It's just they don't ask, and the client didn't tell, so they had no reason to pry in their client's personal life. With that, they were basically at square one again, so that hasn't really changed. But however, soon K-Dash left, as during his time during the investigation, all he's been doing is basically wandering around Masafu from time to time, as he's no good when it comes to stuff like that. But soon, a couple of times, he does run into a couple of heroes thinking that he may be a villain because he looks suspicious with his sunglasses, white hair, and tan skin after all. As he shows his hero ID and everything, some of the heroes just let him be for now. As, again, they're not too fond of foreign heroes invading basically on their turf and everything with that. However, he does run into Inko from time to time, as the two of them hanged out a little bit. But with K-Dash actually has no idea why he likes spending time with her, which makes no sense to him. As normally speaking, the people that isn't part of his closest friend group would normally bore the hell out of him or just piss him off a little bit. But when he's around Inko, he can't help but enjoy himself when he's around her. As when he's around her, he can actually crack a genuine smile. It also helps that the two of them are close to the same age, with Inko only being 18 and K-Dash being 19. Also, Sarah, Maximum, and also Coolid couldn't help but notice that, K-Dash was a lot more happy in the past couple of days or so. And so they actually told him, with wanting to know on when did he meet Inko, as he basically was completely honest, basically telling him that he saved her, and also that he's been spending time with her when he isn't basically forced to go through the interrogations or anything like that. That soon Coolid couldn't help but tease K-Dash, as he gets a little bit pissed at the blue-haired girl, of course, as usual, but just lets it be. As surprised, with soon Coolid never knew that K-Dash would let go so easily about this. Then Sarah couldn't help but smile at her brother. Couple hours later, Sarah decided to speak with Commander Hyden and ask about K-Dash, if to let him go for at least a while, with wondering why, as she soon explained. With one day left, the Ikai warriors finally leave Masafu, with everyone planning on going onto the battleship. Soon, Commander Hyden stopped K-Dash, as he's soon saying, "What's the meaning of this, Commander?" Saying, I want you to stay here in Masafu for the time being." He's saying, "Wait, what? Why the hell would I do that?" He's saying, "Well, it's pretty obvious why. I need somebody here to keep an eye on this place." After hearing what the Dogs of War said, it only makes sense that their benefactor's still here in Japan. I want you to try and work alongside the heroes here to get information. Saying, "Are you serious about this? Then Maximum and Coolidge should stay with me if I'm going to have to get this information." As Maximum's saying, "I don't think that's going to happen, my friend. You're staying here." As surprised hearing this from his cyborg best friend, saying, "What?" As even Coolidge basically saying, "You're staying here?" End of discussion after all. With even Sarah basically saying, "I think it's best if you do. After all, I don't think you want to leave that girl of yours." As soon, K-Dash begins blushing, as he has never blushed before, saying, what the hell did you say, Sarah?" After getting pissed, soon Hayden begins placing his hand on K-Dash's shoulder, saying, "K, it's only natural on how you would feel. I believe if you leave Masafu, you'll just go back to being your same bored self as usual. So, try and change. Have a normal life. I know how you feel about that girl, after all." Saying, of course she told you, didn't she? It's only, just try and see how you feel about this. If you don't think it's for you, then we'll return as soon as possible to bring you back. However, if you enjoy the life of civilian or the life of a regular hero in one place, then I wouldn't blame you. Saying, "Are you seriously going to do this to me, sir? This is up to you. Do you truly want this for yourself? You were robbed a childhood after all. Do you want to be robbed a normal life as well? After this, soon, K-Dash takes a deep breath, takes off his sunglasses and saying, fine, I'll try it out a normal life, if that's what you think. I'll still be working as a hero, and you did say I still have a mission on fighting that benefactor of theirs, right? Saying, yes. Okay, good. Then I'll do it. As soon K-Dash walks off, as soon Hyden soon tosses him a bag full of at least, well, filled with 500,000 yen inside. That should give you enough to stay at least an apartment for the time being. Don't be too mad after all. Saying, thanks, sir. I won't let you down. But soon, Hyden actually salutes to K-Dash, with K-Dash not even saluting back and just waving while walking away. With that, K-Dash soon gets his own place and also begins registering as a hero in Masafu, with taking down tons of villains and getting some notoriety. With that, he also began spending more and more time with Inko before the two actually tying the knot and getting married, with a couple years later having Izuku. As it was kind of confusing on what kind of last name should Izuku have, as K-Dash really isn't really his real name, that it's more of his own nickname or / hero name. So they basically made a last name up for him, that being Midoriya. As for Izuku, he would still have the green hair. However, his skin would be more tanned, and not only that, he would also show small symptoms of his flames emerging from his body, even as a baby. As for K-Dash, he finally realized on who actually hired the Dogs of War to kill top-ranked heroes rising up in the ranks in Japan, that being All for One, as he wanted to stop Toshinori from reaching the #1 hero and wanted to kill him before the last user of One for All, the current one being him after all. After finally realizing this, he wanted to talk to All Might about this at his agency, but many of his sidekicks at his agency basically told that, well, All Might was always on patrols and won't always be back until like the next day or something. Or if he is at his agency, they normally wouldn't let the foreign hero in. As K-Dash began making a name for himself, becoming at least the 9th top ranked pro in Japan after all. As he could have gotten higher, but he just chose not to. As he finally was able to catch up with All Might one day, a couple months later, and told him what he's learned about All for One. As All Might hears this, he tells him that he's thankful for the information, but he'll handle All for One on his own, with K-Dash basically saying, alright, if it's your own personal problem, I could care less. But try not to forget, you may be the #1 hero now, but you can rely on others if you want. After saying this, K-Dash soon leaves from All Might, with All Might hearing those words saying, relying on others. I understand, but when it comes to that monster, he's mine, and mine alone. As the years go by, the battle between All Might and All for One finally happened, with All Might getting the same injury as he would in canon. As for Izuku, he would grow up as a normal kid, just as always, until he finds out that he is still quirkless. And if you guys are wondering, no, K-Dash's flames are not a quirk because they were originally Kyo Kusanagi's flames that were a manifestation of his ki and passed down from the Kusanagi clan after all. As for K-Dash, since they were originally Kyo's, his are not really his after all. But Izuku did inherit a small portion of those flames. However, they also went through a mutation as well. With soon finding out that he's quirkless, Izuku was bullied by Bakugo constantly, and by others too. But soon, one day, as Izuku was actually beat up by Bakugo once more, K-Dash was walked up to his son saying, "How long you gonna let them continue beating the shit out of you like that?" As Izuku stand back up, crying on his feet, as saying, "But Dad, I have no quirk. I'm not strong." K-Dash soon chops Izuku's head, as he soon went in pain, saying, "You don't need a damn quirk to become strong, Izuku. I've realized that years ago. Many people have realized that years ago. You can become strong without one." Saying, "Really?" "Yeah." As soon he places his hand on Izuku's head, saying, just believe in yourself. And besides, you could probably start training if you feel like it right now." Saying, "Training? There's more than just quirks in this world. Physical training can help you too." As Izuku's eyes began to widen, within, K-Dash smiles at his son. As both Izuku and K-Dash began training, as K-Dash trains Izuku in his own personal fighting style, being pure violence. The same fighting style that he uses in the KOF games, as he trains him in all of his fighting styles and techniques until Izuku's 10th birthday, where he finally manifested his flames, with K-Dash actually surprised about this, as Izuku saying, "Is this my quirk? Did I finally awaken a quirk?" As Inko saying, "That's so great, sweetie. You," as she looked at K-Dash saying, "So he's the same." I figured as much. With soon, Inko was actually had a somber look on her face, saying, "Sweetie, K, are you okay?" Is soon saying, "I'm fine. Just I need to talk to Izuku in private, if that's okay." With knowing the urgency in K's voice, Inko soon left the room. With Izuku saying, "So is this my quirk? Is it the same as yours, Dad?" Saying, "Izuku, listen, this is not a quirk. This flame is conjured by your life energy, and it wasn't even originally mine. It was implanted into me by an organization known as Nest. Not only that, the flames were originally to another person, a person I see as my rival and the most annoying person in my life. That being Kyo Kusanagi. His flames are in me, but I can't control them. They only manifest on the right side of my body. And not only that, this glove allows me to control my flames easily without burning myself or hurting those around me." Do you get it? As Izuku is still pretty confused, but he nods somewhat, as saying, "These flames, in a matter of days, or possibly even a month or so, if you begin using your flames without a glove like this, you're going to hurt yourself, and you're going to hurt others too. So, I don't know about the Nest organization, but I might try and figure something out for you. Something similar." Saying, "Sure, if that's what you want, Dad, as long as I can still become strong even with these flames, right?" Saying, Of course you can, my son." As he soon hugs Izuku, with Izuku hugging his dad back as well. As K-Dash begins heading to multiple hero support companies, as he wants to see if they can make a copy of K-Dash's, special made glove, at least multiple copies, as he found out that Izuku's fire is only restricted to his right arm and his left arm, as he can't conjure any more of his flames onto either one of it through his legs, unlike K-Dash, which his flames are only restricted to the right side of his body. As he goes to these, support companies, they're actually surprised and shocked seeing the technology made for his glove, as they've never seen something like this before in their lives, as it being Nest technology after all, which is pretty, advanced beyond its time. With this, it takes at least, 2 years for Izuku to finally get his own gloves that are made to control his flames and allow him to use them without hurting himself. However, even without using his flames, he's able to manipulate. He still learned pure violence pretty well, even master it to a huge degree. With that, Izuku could now use his flames through, pure violence as well, with soon manipulating his flames, creating the same attacks as his father. But not to the same degree though, as since he was only restricted to both his arms using his flames. With soon, Izuku began getting stronger and stronger and way much more stronger. Then Bakugo noticed this. Noticed that Izuku was a lot more stronger and even had his flames too. With that, Bakugo couldn't accept it. He couldn't accept that Izuku now has a quirk, now has power, and could even rival him, as they go on to multiple fights from time to time. But Izuku always comes out the winner due to his huge dedication to mastering, pure violence, and him now having a somewhat understanding of his flames. But one day, when Bakugo has basically pissed off Izuku to a huge degree, to a point of almost nearly killing him, his flames changed, as they changed to that of green flames, as the flames were almost similar to that of ash crimson, but his flames burned even hotter, and it even had a hard time, as his gloves had a hard time containing those flames, as they were able to burn through solid concrete with just from a little, spark of his flames, even burn through solid metals too. With that, Izuku realized on how powerful his green flames were, and wanted to find a way to control them. But then, one day, K-Dash left. He went back to his, team, went back to his sister and to the Ikari warriors, wanting to help others, realizing that Izuku can handle himself now, and that he can become strong on his own. With that, Izuku took the challenge and wanted to become strong just like his dad. He wanted to become a hero that his dad can respect. And that's it. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please tell me what you guys think in the comments below. I would love to hear them. Also, like, subscribe, which really helps with the channel. And also, check out my Discord and my gaming channel. Any rates, with that said, if this video could get at least, 100 likes in the next 2 weeks or so, I'll probably start next part 1. And I may enjoy doing this series. But however, if this series becomes like that of a mainstay title on my channel, I may have to put another series on hold. Instead of 2 series, 3 series may be put on hold. So I hope you guys can understand that if this series begins getting popular. I hope you guys can understand that. So, with that said, this is Mooky signing out. Later, guys.